as soon as you're born, we're born as these creative beings that are supposed to find their own purpose in life, be creative, be imaginative, and find their own purpose. And then all of a sudden you're sent to a school, and that creativity and purpose is stripped away from you. It's stripped away, because they're systemizing you. And then we're given options, all these little sort of placeholders of what we can accept, and then we're meant to go and pick one. And we've got to understand that we're not designed or built to actually be put in a pigeonhole and say, this is you and this is your life. And then when people feel uneasy about that, and that was the same for me about the military. That was my every dream. I created an image of this. I was in love with the image of being a Special Forces soldier. The image was everything. And this is what I think a lot of people, I know a lot of people get wrong. They fall in love with the image, and then that doesn't match the feeling when they get there. So the reality and the perception are so very different, and that was for me for the Special Forces. And then I got there and went, oh, why am I not feeling amazing? Why am I not feeling fulfilled? Why am I not? And then I start to reflect on me, thinking, oh, it's something wrong with me. There's something wrong with me. And then that starts all kinds of self-doubt, lack of self-worth, all that kind of thing. And for me, what it was simply the fact I hadn't found my purpose.
Trying to find this external fix to try and make you happy, and it's not out there. It's never out there. It's within. And once you start, I had to start sort of reflecting within to sort of sort myself out. Looking for this external fix, it just wasn't there. So it was tough. And like I say, it took me 10 years of some tough situations to sort of get myself on track.
You've got to keep on looking. And for me, and a lot of people do this, they sit in that job and they're uncomfortable. It's like putting on a pair of shoes that don't fit. You're quite happy to hobble around in them for the rest of your life. If the shoes don't fit, take them off. That's the thing, people get fixated on the journey, and it's always about where do you want. It's not about where you are, it's where you want to be, and you have to allow that to be the thing that pulls you through that hardship. The mind is a muscle. People do not, I don't care where you've come from, military or non-military, if you don't have some kind of release for your mind, you will have mental health issues at some stage in your life. So why wait to get to that point? Mm-hmm. Why not preempt it and don't go through that? A lot of people sort of find these tools when they're at their lowest ebb. Don't get to your lowest ebb. I used to drink to get drunk. It's my sole purpose was to get drunk, not to enjoy the process of having a few drinks and socialising. It was just to clear that mind chatter, all the mind chatter, everything. As soon as I had that mind chatter, the best thing to numb yourself out is to drink. And that's what I thought. That's what I was doing all the time. And basically, what happens is we are victims of habit. We're creatures of habit, and we live in a repeat cycle of yesterday. Because regardless of whether we're happy or sad, or whether it's a good situation or not, what we did yesterday and the day before, as far as evolution is concerned and our mind's concerned, is it's kept us alive till today. So regardless, it wants to keep doing exactly as you've done yesterday. And that's what happens when people get into an issue with mental health. They're repeating the cycle of yesterday. Every day is yesterday. Breakpoint, the theory about breakpoint, it's the moment you decide to step into the short-term discomfort for a long-term gain. And the problem is, in this world and society, everyone wants to step into the short-term comfort, which then creates long-term pain. And whether that's drink, alcohol, or we're always looking for the shortcut. We don't understand it. It takes someone to actually go through that sort of breakpoint to understand that you have to go through discomfort with anything in life to get any kind of growth. It all comes down to one thing. You have to be mentally prepared before you're physically ready to tackle anything. And if you so many people say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and they don't go through the mental preparation prior to, they just go through the sort of steps to start changing. And before they know it, they lose motivation. They've got no plan in place, because what happens, you're basically dealing with emotion. And if you're only relying on emotion, you will fail. So that's why whenever you have something, you want to change something, and you've got, for me, 48 years of negative brainwashing in some aspects. You've got a blueprint there that you have to change. And the only way you can do that is by putting a plan into play that becomes a process. I'm tired of people saying, I can't do this, I can't do that, I can't give up this, I can't do that. And the first time I sort of smashed through those limitations personally was when I gave up drinking. I now drink again. I'm in control of it. But when I did that, that was, for me, when I gave up drinking, it was such, forget the drink, forget the alcohol, it was such a mental milestone for me to know that I could actually change and do anything I wanted to do. And alcohol is a massive thing to break. So, I mean, it's the same with everything. I'll give up coffee for 6 months. Oh, I could never give up coffee. You can give up, you can do whatever you need to do.
Everything that I've done, I've always visualized the end. The end goal is always my visualization. I live it, I feel it, I embrace it, and I forget about the journey.
Okay.
And once I've got that passion, and then once also someone's told me I probably can't do it, I'll go and do it.
When it comes down to our evolution of the species, that's all we need to be focused on. We don't need to, the caveman never came out and went, what a fantastic day. There's going to be so much opportunity today. He's like, fucking hell, where's the tiger? Where's the fucking, everything's going to eat him. So that's still our mindset, you know, and it's still very much, we are negatively tuned to look what's going wrong. That's when something does go wrong, but that's why when we fuel that fire, like you wouldn't believe, and we grow this, we give so much energy to anything negative, because that's human instinct to stop us from, you know, to keep us evolving.
People don't tend to look at the positive side of things, so we've got this negative sort of mindset, and it causes a lot of trauma. Positive mindset, visualization. If you see a goal, put a process into place and head for it.
And to make it happen.
Make it happen. Don't rely on emotion, because you'll never get there.
We have so much energy, and I think that's what creates a lot of the issues, because that's not being channeled. You know, at the end of the day, society wants to create this artificially intelligent society that doesn't have to think. You know what I mean? And that creates so, you know, we're put on the earth to discover and everything else. Every person has got that. Every person. The way that we're wired due to evolution, we're quite happy to take the easy road, the one that's been pre-designed for us. I find that we are quite naturally, by default, lazy. And there's so many people that are quite happy not having to think for themselves, quite happy to be told where to go and what to do. It took me a long time, it took me 43 years to actually start understanding that life isn't about doing what you expected, it's about doing what you want. And then once you do what you want, and it creates passion and enthusiasm from you, and you start doing something that really doesn't feel, like we just said before, like work, and your motivation isn't just getting up because you're going to work just to pay the bills or the mortgage or this, that and the other. It's about sitting down and write down all the things that really excited you. If you need to define your purpose. What is your purpose in life? You know, once you do that, you define, you know, going back over history, where have I felt really good about myself? What have I enjoyed most? And then you will start to define your purpose.